I'm Jim W6LG, your ham radio Elmer here on YouTube. Welcome to my radio room in Rocklin, California. In my last video, many said in the comments that they couldn't afford a name brand handheld, and by name brand I mean Yaesu, ICOM, Kenwood. I can't think of anybody else's, but I don't know the answer to that. So let's go look at DX Engineering website, for example. We could go to DX Engineering, ham radio outlet, Gigaparts, any number of places. But I'm most familiar with DX Engineering, so let's go there. They don't know I'm going to look at their website or have anything to do with it. So I'm going to bring that up on the screen now. Here we go. All right, let's Qiang. Never heard of that. All right, let's search for handheld. See if that works. I don't know that it will. It does. All right, handheld transceivers. And what I'm looking for is what is the least expensive one I can find in a big hurry. So that's too much for many. 250 would be a stretch for me. Well, that's interesting. What brand is that? Oh, Yaesu. Okay. Yaesu FT65, 144 and 430 megahertz, roughly a 2,000 milliamp hour battery. That's great. 5 watts. Says it's rugged. Okay. What else are they going to say? Here's an ICOM. How much is the ICOM? 170. Here's another ICOM. It's 2 meter only. I'm looking for dual band. It's 400. Alinco or neat little things. Almost 300. Oh. Okay, let's take a look at this. FT4XR, dual band, 1800 milliamp lithium ion battery, 5 watts each. I wonder why it says each. Here's, could be an open box for $85. Let's check that out. I don't think we're going to find anything else that... There's a $100 one from Alinco, dual band. That's great. Alinco builds a lot of commercial handhelds, 160. All right, so the least expensive price on this page, there may be more, but here's, and I already have a bunch of Yaesu. So this one's $95 and multiple images. Let's take a look at this. Protection plan, no, I'll pass on that. I've got to be within a budget. Here are a bunch of accessories. Speaker, microphone thingy, $26. That's not bad. What else is on here? Oh, the interface cable. That would be really handy. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll explain why. The shipping policy of DX Engineering is that when the price exceeds or is greater than or equal to $100, they do free shipping. So I think what I'll do is go ahead and order this. DX Engineering is really good in getting it out, even though it's late in the day, local time, 6:30, and they're closed. If I put in the order, it'll be here tomorrow. Also, I want to transmit with it without changing the setup here and see what the output looks like. Does it overload the front of the Tiny SA? That was another thing that people were critical of, and they're good comments, and that's a good question, and some didn't like the system that I used for testing the handheld. In the past, I transmitted into a dummy load through a device that I built that siphoned off just enough RF to get an indication on the Tiny SA, so about 30 dB of attenuation. The results were basically the same. I'm doing it with a handheld and the antenna because that was suggested by several about a year ago when I did some testing, because that would be real world transmitting. You are not going to transmit into a dummy load and communicate with somebody. So I'm doing it and have done it with the antenna that's supplied in a real world situation and a receiver that maybe isn't all that far away, but keep in mind that some of the handhelds that I tested, in particular the Yaesu, the H8, and one of the H3s, I think, they were all reasonably clean. So let's look at when this thing gets here, open the box, plug it in, charge it up, and see how it looks. Is it clean? Or was my experience with the other Yaesu transceiver unique to that transceiver? So stand by next time you see me. You'll probably see a handheld in my hand, and we'll be testing that Yaesu, which will come from DX Engineering out of their warehouse in, I think it's in Nevada. All right, stand by. In the blink of an eye, I'll be right back. All right, I said I'd be back the next day with the Yaesu handheld from DX Engineering. DX Engineering did get it delivered early in the day, actually, by UPS out of Arizona. But I owe you an explanation. It's now about 3 days later because I had to go to the emergency room at Kaiser Roseville. Spent a lot of time there. Tests were done in oncology, and some other stuff went on. And if you would like me to explain what's happening, I'll do it. Back to this. So here's the FT4 handheld. Comes with a battery, stand-up charger. It's a nifty little radio, and $95. It seems to be. It's got a bell clip that I haven't put on yet. Easy to use. Memory system is easy. VFO or memory channels. It's a great little transceiver. I did buy the programming cable for it. I probably already had one, but that was another $20. The reason for that was at $95, I pay for shipping. At $100, DX Engineering pays for shipping. So I was able to get the programming cable included with this, and so I didn't have to pay the $15 in shipping charges, and that pretty much covered the price of the programming cable. So shipping charges were $0. So let's turn on the Tiny SA. Many thought that the test wasn't fair because I was using the handheld with the attached antenna. In the prior tests, a lot of people said that my test wasn't fair because I was transmitting into a bird dummy load, and I should be transmitting into the supplied antenna because it would act in a way to filter out harmonics in others. So I've done it both ways. I'm going to continue doing it the way I did it earlier, and that's with the antenna attached. Some said I overloaded the front end of the Tiny SA. That's an interesting comment. This is 5 watts, and I have a 10 watt transceiver here too. If the 10 watt doesn't overload the Tiny SA, then I don't think the 5 watt ones should either. So I think my test was fair. Let's look at the Tidradio H3. Okay, here's the Tiny SA, 145 megahertz handheld, and let's see what it does when I transmit. The Tiny SA is on, it's sweeping, and there you go. So here's the Tidradio H3, and it's got some harmonics. So we're back to the Yaesu, and we'll look at that again. Pressing the push to talk after I turn it on. And it's down about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, more than 50 dB. So it really is clean. The price of the handheld included the stand-up charger, power supply, radio, antenna. There are a lot of nice features in that one. I don't think it's a whole lot different from the Tidradio. And I don't believe it can be programmed to transmit on frequencies not assigned to us. So which one would I carry into a command center during a disaster? It would have to be a name brand, like a Yaesu. And in the past, when I did that, it was an ICOM. I had extra batteries, extra antennas. I had everything you could think of in case something went wrong, because sometimes it did. Anyway, got really good comments. I think it's like 300 plus comments the last time I looked. Most of them were incredibly friendly and made suggestions about how to do things in a different way, but I had already done them in that different way with a dummy load. Anyway, let me know what you think. It's been a fun project to test these things. All right, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. I would appreciate it. It doesn't cost you anything. And if I can get the number of subscribers up, the video gets viewed more often. For now, 73 from Jim W6LG in Rockland, California. Bye-bye.